Good evening, everybody. Welcome back for the final installment of GCPA Live today on Give STL Day 2021. My name is Paul Pagano. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm the executive director and one of the co-founders of Gateway Center for Performing Arts. We have been working very hard today to raise $10,000 for technology advancements here at GCPA. And we are only $4,000 away from our goal. And about an hour and a half ago or so, I put out a challenge that all of the GCPA students, I'm sure, are very, very eager to reach. If we're able to raise up to $8,000 by 10 p.m., I will sing a portion of a song from Sound of Music. And if we're able to reach our goal by midnight, I will not only sing one song from Sound of Music, I will sing two songs from Sound of Music, and I will do the bow. All of my students know exactly what that means, and many of them have already let me know that they are very excited to see that happen. So please, if you have the charitable dollars available, make a donation. Go to www.givestl.org/GCPASTL to make that donation. We are sitting just a little over $6,000 right now. So right now, we have the opportunity to speak with some of the cast members of our current production, 42nd Street. And let's go ahead and meet them and get our conversation started. First up, we've got Noah. Noah, how you doing?
I'm good. Hello. My name's Noah Van Ness. My pronouns are he, him, his. And I'm playing Julian Marsh in 42nd Street.
All right, excellent, and you're doing a fantastic job. It's fun to see you bring that character to life. Let's go ahead and meet the rest of the cast that's here, and we'll have our conversation. Next up, we've got Ben.
Hi, I'm Ben. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I am playing Billy Lawler.
One of the better ingenues, or excuse me, one of the what does he say? What's his line? What's Billy's line in there?
We're the better juveniles.
There we go. One of the better juveniles. That's it. Excellent. And you're doing a fantastic job bringing this story to life too. Everybody can see it here in a little over a week. We open a week from tomorrow. Thanks for being here, Ben. Last but not least right now, we've got Maddie.
Hi. Okay, I'm Maddie. I'm Maddie Hughley, and I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I'm playing Peggy Sawyer.
And you are doing a wonderful job in telling a story of one of those characters that every chorus girl wants to be, right? Turn into the star. Yes. And so we know that we've got Maddie, we've got Ben here, and we have Noah here. We have one more actor who is slated to join us, but unfortunately, she is running a little bit late due to an engagement that she had this evening that is running a little long. Hopefully, she'll be able to join us here. But we're going to go ahead and get started with Noah and Ben and Maddie. So, gang, the audition process has been very different this year than a typical audition process is. Talk about the difference in the auditions here this year. What's exciting about the changes? What's difficult about the changes that have been made this year?
I can say that I actually had a lot of fun with my audition this year because I actually did my audition in this room, and I kind of messed up my whole room just to do my little thing. In this room, I messed up, like I moved things around, and I just had a lot of fun recording it. And then also, fun fact, I recorded on piano my backing track for my song, which I thought was kind of fun and kind of cool.
That is cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know, because you weren't supposed to know. You're supposed to be discreet.
That's very cool and multi-talented.
Thank you.
How about you, Ben? What has been different for you? What's been exciting? What's been challenging with the current audition environment?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of the audition stuff is recorded now from home, and we've gotten pretty used to that over the past year. But honestly, this audition was, I mean, it was quick. It was really organized. I mean, we sent in a video, and within a couple of days, we got ready for the callbacks. And yeah, I mean, it was great. We were able to do callbacks in person with fewer people staying by COVID guidelines, and it was great. I had a great time. We were there for a couple hours, did all the things we would do in the show, and yeah, it was. I mean, it was really quick. It was very. I was very impressed. It was extremely organized. I mean, it was a couple of days, and you already knew whether you went to the show. You've already gone through hours of auditioning. I mean, it was impressive. It was great. I thought it was a great job.
Yeah, part of that is due to necessity, because this year we've got 10 shows that are running, and right on top of one another here in the spring as we get into the summer. But like you mentioned, it was also nice that you were able to know pretty quickly about a callback and then about casting. Maddie, from your perspective, what's been exciting about this audition process, and what's been challenging about the virtual auditions?
Well, at first I was a little apprehensive about auditioning virtually, because it's just new and I'm not used to it. But it was kind of nice being able to send in my video that I felt was perfect. It wasn't just in the room. I got to spend time to make sure it was good before I submitted it. So I was able to feel really good about my audition. And then also, I think it's just I've done a lot of online auditions this last year, and I think that because of COVID, I think that's probably something that's not going to go away even when we're all back to normal. I feel like it's just more convenient, so people are going to keep using online auditions. So it's been good practice. Also with college too, pre-screens being online. So it's been new, but a good practice, because I feel like this is something that's definitely not going away.
Yeah, you're right. We don't think it's going to be going away anytime soon either, because there's an ease about being able to put together a video and then sending it in for an audition, as opposed to maybe having to travel in order to get to an audition, or carve out a large chunk of your day in order to go and audition. And that's, that's one of the reasons why, the goals for today are about technology, because we want to be able to continue to embrace where the industry is headed.
I will say though, with the nice thing, it was very nice to be able to, re-record your audition and make it perfect. But it was also really nice to be able to do callbacks in person, because I mean, before that, there wasn't a lot going on. And so being able to do in person and actually feel be at GCPA with doing a callback with people that I knew and didn't know, and people I would meet, was really exciting. It was really nice.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. We thought it was important because, particularly 42nd Street, it's a tap heavy show, and there's a lot of dance in the show, and yeah, you can show a lot in a video, but then there's something about being able to really assess how quickly does somebody pick up the moves and execute, and how quickly can somebody pick up the music and execute, and you mentioned getting to meet people that maybe you haven't met before, getting to see some friends in those callbacks. We did rounds of 10 people at a time.
Small,
right? Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which, Maddie, but before we started, you were talking about something in regards to the casting, and tell us about that.
It was so weird. I sort of realized when we did callbacks, the only people I sort of knew who auditioned were just those 10 people in my callback group, and then talking to other people just that I already know. But normally through the audition process, you get to meet new people too who are going to be in the show. So it was weird. This is the first show I feel I've ever been in that I didn't know a lot of people who even auditioned until I saw the cast list, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, I didn't know they auditioned. So yeah,
and and what you're talking about is just at the regular audition call, you're coming in, you've got an appointment, but you've got 4 or 5 people that are there that are singing ahead of you. You got 4 or 5 people that are there that are singing behind you. You come to the callback, and sometimes there are 20, 30, 40 people at the callback, and you see a lot of the people that have auditioned. But this time, the current environment, that's just not the way that we had it, that we could do it, right?
Mhm.
So I mentioned that this is a dance heavy show, tap specifically. So let me ask. I know that Maddie, Ben, you both dance a lot in this show.
Yes.
Noah, you stand and watch a lot of people dance a lot.
I enjoy watching. I get to enjoy the show with the audience. How exciting.
So when you think about all of the dance that's in this show, what's a sequence that's so intense that you can't help but love it?
Yeah. I mean, okay, We're in the Money. I mean, it's so iconic with that ending too, with all the kicks. And when you're learning it, you're doing it over and over again, like you're done and you're just like, you're hyperventilating. You're so tired, right? But you go back and you see it. And what's so great about having these like Zoom rehearsals and everyone coming on is you can watch it. And when you watch it, it's amazing. Like, it's so great, and I'll do a number and I'll be so out of breath and I won't be able to move, but all I want to do is just do it again. It's great. I love it.
Yeah. For me, I think probably Going to Your Dance is definitely one that's like super challenging, but super fun. Like, once we had so many rehearsals for it, but once we finally got it down and it was like muscle memory, then like it was kind of a challenge to get there, but it was fun because once you get there, then it's just fun and you're just dancing with people and you can just enjoy it more. But that one was definitely like challenging to learn.
Yeah, and what's interesting for me, because I am not a dancer. I am an actor who moves well. I am definitely not a dancer. But what's interesting about that Going to Your Dance is that it, on the surface, it looks like it's simple, but it's deceptively hard.
That's the tricky part. You gotta look like it's super easy and you're just walking on air up there, but it's hard. It's tough.
And you and the group of actors who are executing that are doing a really great job in executing that. Now, Noah, you're on the side. You don't do a lot of the dancing, but what's a sequence that looks really intense to you that you just absolutely love?
Well, I can never go wrong with the opening. The opening, that I'm not on stage for that part, but I'm like in the wings as of right now. But I'll be in the wings watching almost every night for sure, because that number's so good. Because I'm really excited to see that on the actual stage with the curtain and with the lights and with the music and with everything. That's gonna be so fun to watch.
Yeah, that's that opening of 42nd Street is one of the iconic moments in Broadway history.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that curtain opens up and you see all of those feet just dancing, and of course, I don't know about you, but I feel like the ending where you've got the ensemble hollering out the counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the last 2 8 counts. It just puts a cherry on top of the gigantic sundae that the show gives you right at the beginning of the show.
It really starts the show off very nicely. A lot of energy right off the bat, especially for me, because I don't enter for a little bit. So that gives me a lot of energy for me to come on for my first scene.
Yeah. And when you think about energy and the energy that the show has, and it starts off right away with that number, talk about the energy of the show and the pace of the show from there. Ben and Maddie, when we just finished rehearsal a little bit ago, and we were talking about the pace of the show. Talk about how, even though the intensity of those numbers are there, what does the pace of the show feel like?
It is so fast. It goes by so quickly. It feels like number after number, dance after dance after dance. And it is like tiring to do, but because it's like so like fast paced and you just go one after the other, it like there's no lull ever. Like the energy just keeps building and building and building. And so even though like you're doing a crazy amount of dancing, it's like totally manageable because there's just so much energy that keeps going from every dance. Like there's not a single dance that's not high energy and just fun to do. So yeah, the energy, it just keeps building and building and building.
Yeah, and it's that's one of the things that's very infectious about a performance, right? Is being able to feed off of the energy that you get from your fellow performers. If you're in the audience, you're feeling that energy that the actors are giving you. But due to COVID restrictions, there are some numbers that we haven't been able to have everybody in the room at the same time in order to do. So what challenges has that brought about in regards to just understanding the flow of some of the numbers and the energy that is there that we feed off of?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely more difficult having to stop in between some numbers to kind of just rotate people in and out to be able to run through it. But honestly, I think we've done, or you guys have done a great job with like really finding the spots to switch us in. I mean, it's just throughout the entire run throughs, even if we're not performing, just the energy of the whole cast is great. So like the entire time, no matter what, everyone's always having a great time, and you can just kind of feed off of that, like always. And that's why the opening is so great, is because it starts so high and it never goes down. It is consistently at that high energy, and it really is amazing. It's great.
Yeah. I would also say what's kind of cool is the fact that not only the songs have energy, but a lot of the scenes have energy too, which is sometimes not true with shows. Sometimes when you're watching a show, some scenes can drag. But in this show, especially, not giving away anything, but at the end of Act 1, I mean, it really picks up, especially those scenes. It goes pretty fast.
Yeah. I know for me, like, even though it is more time consuming having to like stop and like bring in the next group to do the dance for their part, it has sort of been nice like observing it, because when you're in like a show, you don't get to see the show. Like when you're in a number and you're dancing, you don't know what that number looks like. So being able to like step out and then watch another group do their part has actually like been really cool. Something like I didn't even realize before, that's like you don't normally get to do. You don't normally get to see as much of the show as we've gotten to see in rehearsals.
Yeah, as a performer myself, I can absolutely relate to that, because there's such cool moments that we create as artists on stage, but we don't get to see it.
Yeah, you never get to see.
The only time we get to see it is in the photos afterwards.
Right, yeah.
But we don't get to live as the audience gets to live in enjoying those moments. And so, thinking of enjoying those moments and, and that energy that you mentioned here in regards to the cast, Ben, this is your first production with GCPA. Maddie, you're cast in Cabaret that was supposed to be last year, but got postponed to this summer. So this is really your first production with GCPA as well. Tell us a little bit about your first experience working with us.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, right? I mean, I've heard so many amazing things about GCPA, like I said, especially from my sibling who's done tons of shows here. And within seconds, it's so clear that it's a family that you're walking into. It's amazing. I mean, you come in and everyone's conversing, everyone's having a great time, and I mean, I've just loved it. Every time I get home, all I want to do is just come back, And yeah, I was just so impressed by how close-knit everyone can be, how close everyone can be, but also how productive everyone can be. I mean, I've learned, at least personally, I know I've learned so much, especially through acting with you, Paul. I mean, it's been wonderful, and I'm very lucky to be able to say that I'm part of this community now. It's great. I love it.
Yeah. We're happy you're here.
Yeah, for me too. I have really loved my experience here at GCPA. I feel like this is such a great cast, and I like really genuinely mean it. Everybody is like not only just super talented, but also so nice. Like everyone's always just willing to talk to anyone, and they're always just so kind. And I sort of realized that like that's no like exception to just this cast. Like that's just how everyone at GCPA is. And I think that's just a testament to the environment here at GCPA and the community GCPA fosters. It's been really cool to get to like join into, like Ben said, like our family sort of. It's just the place, like it's just the place you want to be, and it's filled with the people you want to surround yourself with. And even though we rehearse a lot and sometimes I feel like I live here now, still like on the few days we have off, I'm always like still wishing I were at GCPA because it's just so fun, and there's the people that you love to be around. So yeah, it's just I love it here.
We love having you here, and Noah's been here for several years, and you keep coming back. Noah, what is it that continues to bring you back to GCPA and working with us?
Yeah, so I started with Music Man, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I started with Music Man, and I mean, I was very scared because this was my first time here, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was going to come of it. But when I got there, I mean, it was so many people were talking to me. Everyone was talking to each other. It was not a toxic environment. It was really great to be here. And then, you know, now that I've been here for a couple of years, I feel like we've still kind of held on to that, where everyone, I mean, I have a lot of my friends here. And then in every single thing that I've done, whether it be classes or whether it be a show, I've met a lot of people who are new, who I've never seen before. And that's always very cool. And then also what I think is interesting, I was thinking about this. I don't think I've ever come away from a day at GCPA without having learned something new, whether that be about the show, whether that be about someone else, like a cast member, sorry.
Either one works.
Yeah, I like member better. Or, you know, about you, Paul, one of your fun anecdotes, anything. Something will come from every day.
There are quite a few story times with Paul, aren't there?
Yeah.
Most of the time on topic, but sometimes not, and that's okay. And what's really exciting about that community is that we want to make sure that we embrace everybody. And how about we give a warm welcome to our next cast member who was able to join us. Let's say hi to Olivia.
Hi guys.
Welcome.
Hi. Sorry I'm late.
It's all right. How'd your concert go?
It went very well. It was this big senior night, so it was bittersweet, but it went well. Yeah.
So speaking of seniors, you are a senior.
Yes.
Where are you headed to in the fall, and what are you going to be studying?
I am going to the University of Utah to earn a BFA in musical theater.
All right. So that's your next step.
Yes.
Everybody else had an opportunity to share what role they're playing in 42nd Street. And I want to give you the same opportunity.
Yeah, sure. I'm playing Dorothy Brock in 42nd Street.
So Dorothy Brock is the star, who ultimately gets dethroned by Peggy.
Yes.
All it took was a broken ankle.
Let's not spoil the show, Paul.
Yeah,
Sir.
I mean, the show is 40 years old.
Well, some people might not know the show.
This is true.
This is true.
This is true. Good point. Good point. But there's an element in that storytelling where Dorothy's kind of passing the torch, where she ultimately accepts what's happening. Maddie and Olivia, talk about that moment and what that's like for you as actors.
Who's going first? I can go first. I think, it's honestly my favorite moment in the show. It's my favorite song to sing with Maddie. I absolutely love that moment because it's such a character shift for Dorothy. For the rest of the show, Dorothy is, she's very opinionated. She's very strong-willed, and she thinks everything should go her way. And in this moment, she realizes that the world doesn't revolve around her. and what's most important is putting on an amazing show. And she knows that Peggy is the best person to do that. And so I really enjoyed that scene because of the big shift. I also just love doing it with Maddie, and especially being a senior. I'm leaving GCPA, and so it feels almost a little symbolic because I'm passing the torch to someone younger than me. And yeah, and I just think Maddie's amazing, so I love that scene because it's so fun to do it.
Stop it. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I feel the absolute same. That is such a fun number to do. And I feel like, yeah, there sort of a symbolic like passing of the torch, I guess. I feel like I've learned a lot from you, Olivia, and just as Peggy learns from Dorothy. And it's been really cool to get to work with you. And it's a super interesting number, like the way we do it, because as you were saying, like there is sort of a shift for Dorothy, and I think for Peggy too, realizing like there is like a human part to her, and there's stuff to learn even from the biggest divas. So it's just a really cool, like genuine, raw, like human moment that these two characters have. So I really enjoy it. It's always one of my favorites to do every time we run the show.
Yeah, and you ladies have found some really nice depth and nuance in both of those ladies' stories to share in that moment, and what you found really catapults us into, because that scene leads into the finale, and it really catapults us towards the end. So Olivia, earlier we were talking about the fact that this is a massive dance show, and you're a tapper, and you don't get to tap in the show.
Yes.
How does that feel? And what is the number that if you could jump in and just do it with everybody else, what's the number that you would want to be in?
Well, watching rehearsals, I definitely, sometimes wish that I were in those numbers. I remember when you called me that I got the role, and I was so excited, so thrilled to play this role. And then I was like, they gave me the one girl role that doesn't tap in the show. But I was so thrilled, and I love this part so much. And I get to tap at one point in the show, so that is very exciting. But if I could be in any number, I would definitely want to be in the opening. I think that the opening of 42nd Street is just so iconic, and so much fun to watch. And everyone is doing the same thing at the same time because it's the audition for the show, Pretty Lady in 42nd Street. And so that is probably my favorite tap number in the show. And so if I could be in it, I would be in that one.
All right. And we talked earlier about how that you mentioned that it's iconic, and that the energy in that number really launches the entirety of the energy of the show.
Yeah.
Right there at the beginning. So gang, it has been an absolute pleasure getting to talk with you a little bit here tonight, sharing your experiences with the community. As we finish out here, you've shared some great stories about GCPA, why you continue to come back. Olivia, you actually haven't gotten a chance to share that because we talked about how Maddie and Ben, this is their first show. Noah's come back. You've come back for 5 years, 6 years.
I started the summer after 7th grade, so about 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years. Holy cow!
Yeah.
What keeps you coming back?
I would say the biggest thing for me that keeps me coming back to GCPA is the passion that everybody has for the art form of theater at the studio. I think that all the directors are just so passionate about the art of theater and the collaboration that comes with theater. That's the other thing I love about GCPA. It really feels like theater is a collaborative art. Like when we're working with Paul and we're blocking the scene, we're really working together. He wants us to follow our instincts. He wants us to, make choices. And I think that's something that's so special about theater is it really is a collaborative process with everyone that's in the show. And that is shown at GCPA. And also I feel like the directors at the studio just care so much about all of us, and they want us to be our best selves, be our true selves, and put who we are into the roles that we're playing. I know that I would not be going to college for musical theater if it wasn't for GCPA. I'm like, before I did Crazy for You, which was my freshman year, I really was not sure what I wanted to do. I'd done theater before. I didn't think that I wanted it to be my career. I didn't think I was ready. I didn't think I could do it. And then after that show, I was convinced that this is what I had to do for the rest of my life as a career, because I just absolutely fell in love with it. And every show that I do with GCPA just reminds me why I'm doing this as my career, and why I love theater so much. So yeah, that's why I love GCPA and why I keep coming back, and why I'll be very sad to not be here next year. But I will keep coming to see the shows for sure.
And even though you're graduating, and this goes for all of your classmates and everybody that has graduated before you, it's just the next chapter in your story, and everybody will always be welcome at GCPA, and because you're leaving a legacy, just like the actors before you left a legacy, and like you mentioned, it's kind of this role and this show is kind of like a symbolic passing of the torch, to the next classes. We've had a tremendous conversation here tonight, gang. Thank you so much. Before we go, we are just about $100 away from $7,000 raised today. So we're only about $3,000 away now from our goal of $10,000 today. As we close out this conversation, why is it that people should donate to GCPA today and continue to do it in the future?
I think they should keep donating so that we can keep telling great stories. I mean, I'm talking obviously on behalf of the shows, but also so that everyone else can create great art, whether that be through dance, through song, through acting, all of the classes, just everything. Being able to tell these stories and be able to do a professional show and really get training before, like Olivia, going to college or anything, preparing us even for life. I think that's why you need to donate, please. Thank you.
I think you said it best, Noah. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Maddie, Olivia, Ben, Noah, thank you so much for joining us here tonight, spending some time, particularly for Ben and Maddie, right after dancing for an hour and a half, as we were fine-tuning some stuff in the storytelling. Like I mentioned just a minute ago, we're about $3,100 away from our goal. And if we're able to raise $1,100 in the next 33 minutes, I will sing a song from Sound of Music, and I will do it, and I will post it on Facebook and on Instagram so that everybody sees it.
Everybody donate right now.
Oh, and Lori has a little message for Maddie and Ben.
Yay!
Ooh.
So part of what we were raising money for was not only enhancements in technology for just like what we think of tech in regards to computers and software and everything in order to support our programs, but part of it also is to enhance our technology in our productions. And so we have tap mics. Because we have exceeded a certain threshold in our goal, we know that those tap mics are able to be purchased. They're on their way. We placed that order earlier today. And so those of you who come and see 42nd Street, now, mind you, it is streamed. So you can stream 42nd Street next weekend, May 14th, 15th, and 16th. May 14th is a 7 p.m. show. May 15th is a 2 p.m. and a 7 p.m. show. May 16th is a 2 p.m. show. You stream 42nd Street, and what you're going to hear is we have our two principal dancers in Maddie and Ben as Peggy and Billy, respectively. They will have the new tap mics affixed to their tap shoes for that performance. So it's going to give a great enhancement to the tapping in not only this production for this virtual audience, but also for the future tap shows that we're able to produce. for the live audience members. It seems like a little insignificant thing, but it makes a really big difference in everybody's experience. So Ben and Maddie, they're on their way.
Yay!
I have a feeling that Olivia might want to play with them too. We'll figure that out. Don't worry, Olivia. Everybody in St. Louis, across the country who are watching, who are donating, thank you so much. This past year has been challenging, but a great learning experience for us as an organization, for the students that we work with here in the St. Louis area. We've been able, because of the technology, we've been able to bring our stories and our experiences through the classroom to people all across the country, and in some cases around the world. We've had people in Europe who have joined us for shows. We've had people from across the country have joined us for virtual classes, for virtual camps last summer, and so it has been a testament to all of you who believe in our work. It's a testament to all of the four of you and your castmates and your peers who continue to come back and tell stories with us and take classes with us, to what you want, and we continue to strive to provide you what it is that you're yearning for. So thank you everyone for your donations and for supporting us here today on Give STL Day 2021. Again, we've just got little over $3,000 to hit our $10,000 goal. So everybody, thank you so much. Have a great night, and we'll see you hopefully in a week at 42nd Street. Bye, everybody.